Nike SNKRS Shock drops. According to the American Psychological Association, sneakers is the top cause of stress in the United States. In a 2015 survey, the APA reported that 72% of Americans stressed about shock drops, AR hunts, scratchers, and sneaker stashes at least some of the time during the previous month. There are 4 primary chemicals in the brain that affect happiness: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. By designing gamified experiences such as copying from Nike SNKRS Shock drops that activate these chemicals, you can increase your users' happiness and loyalty. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing one of the most stressful shock drops, the Nike SNKRS Scratcher. If you've been paying attention to recent shock drops, Nike has been increasing the frequency of these. Hence, it is imperative that you master the most efficient method to access the purchase button before a normal user would. That, along with the typical errors you may have been encountering and precisely how to fix them. For example, we saw this scratcher method used on the Valentine's Day dunk and the more recent Gone Fishing dunks and Rainbow Trout dunks. This is one video of a mini-series we'll be doing covering all of these types of shock drops more in depth and all the tips and tricks you need to cop efficiently. The next video will likely be on the SNKRS CAM, which we saw was used on the Run the Jewels SB dunk drop. The reason we're starting with the SNKRS Scratcher, however, is because we were actually supposed to see a SNKRS Scratcher this month. Unfortunately, this drop was cancelled for a very understandable and unfortunate reason. In general, the drop is postponed and we should still see the release, but there is no word about any unique drop method for them anymore at this moment at least. Regardless, I think it's a good idea to prepare you guys now for it, especially because it will be used for other sneakers as well. Before moving on, I just wanted to thank today's sponsor, Poizon. Poizon is a leading trendy lifestyle online shopping community, which is one of the first companies to develop verifying before delivery mode, which guarantees the quality of the shopping experience and ensures every single product is authentic. They handpicked authenticated products from around the world so you can have the extra margin advantage. That's why you don't have to worry about its quality and source. This means you'll find very competitive pricing on both grails and recently released sneakers too. I decided to test it out by picking up a pair of Travis Scott Air Max 1s. I'm a huge fan of them, but unfortunately, I took an L on the release. When I saw Poizon had my size for an extremely competitive price, I had to take the opportunity. Poizon made the process super easy, from finding what I wanted all the way to placing my order. After quickly receiving my package, I was relieved to find that Poizon had packed it with care. Specifically, I got the Baroque brown colorway. I love these earthy tones, it makes them really wearable, but mostly, I like how these differ from other Air Maxes, given their rubberized Cactus Jack tongue logo and the Cactus Corp outsole, but most importantly, of course, they have that iconic reverse swoosh on there. And of course, I know that these are authentic because Poizon has verified them, so I can't wait to start rocking these right away. With that said, I could say that Poizon is a legit and easy platform to help you score pairs that you missed out on. You give them a try with the link in my description below. With that said, let's jump into how to cop from the SNKRS Scratcher with maximum efficiency. The first thing you need to know is that this is a sneakers hunt. And like all sneakers hunts, Nike loads the front end page first and then loads the actual hunt after. I'm not sure why they can never seem to get the timing correct, or perhaps they're doing it intentionally, but the point is that the hunt always loads at least 30 seconds to a minute and a half after the page itself loads. This is extremely important to know because if you open up the app when only the page and image loads without the hunt, then you won't be able to do anything with the image. And the same goes for other hunts too. You'll notice you can't really do anything. If it were a SNKRS Stash, for example, it wouldn't exactly work. You may have noticed this in the past after seeing one of my tweets saying it's live. You quickly open up the SNKRS app and try to scratch it, and all of a sudden, you notice it doesn't work. This isn't your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just that Nike can never seem to load the hunt at the same time as the page. The reason I'm telling you this is because in order to get it to work, you need to have opened the app after the hunt loads. If you have access to a sneakers monitor in a cook group, you'll see as soon as the hunt itself loads, which is after the image. Once this occurs, you need to close and reopen your app. Now when you try to scratch, you'll see it actually works. This is because the hunt is now loaded and it's active. inactive. As you can see with this user's tweet, the whole image was moving. That's because the hunt wasn't loaded when he was trying to swipe and he never restarted the app. So when he was moving his fingers trying to swipe, the page was just simply scrolling up and down because the hunt itself wasn't loaded, if that makes sense. You'd be surprised how big of a difference knowing this actually makes. So if you don't have access to a monitor, you simply just need to keep restarting your app over and over again until you see that it starts working. Since you're not going to know exactly when it's going to happen, you're just going to have to keep trying. If you're looking for a monitor though, to instantly know, because every second does count, Endurance does have a sneakers hunt monitor and monitors for every single site you could imagine that drops profitable products, even outside of sneakers. Not to mention, Endurance always has the most accurate and reliable early information for these Nike SNKRS Shock drops and hunt. And now that you know this crucial tip and you're actually going to be able to scratch the image, the next thing you need to know, of course, is what image to scratch, obviously. You're going to want to look for an image on the page that does not have the sneaker or has the sneaker with some type of cover on it. For example, it could be some dirt or some sand like we saw on the trout, etc. Obviously, that's the one you're going to need to scratch because you're going to reveal the sneaker. Typically, it'll be close to the bottom of the page. Now, for scratching, here's an important tip to maximize efficiency. You don't actually have to scratch the entire shoe. Scratching the entire shoe will actually take you a pretty significant period of time, and you can unlock it this way, but it's not necessary. All you really have to do is swipe a little bit, stop, remove your finger, then start again, then stop, then start again. After you do this 2 or 3 times, a video will begin playing before you even finish scratching the sneaker. The whole thing does not need to be scratched, so don't waste your time doing this. This is going to save you a lot of crucial seconds. Now, here's another tip that most normal users don't realize. You could skip the video. In the top corner, you'll see a faded X. It's faded because Nike doesn't want you to see it and skip their marketing. Nonetheless, you still can skip it. So make sure you're looking for that X and click it instantly. Don't watch a second of the video because it's going to burn crucial seconds. Now after this, you'll finally be through and you could finally attempt to purchase. The reason speed is crucial for these scratcher drops and all sneakers hunts is because unlike the classic shock drop, these are not Leo drops. Leo drops give you 2 minutes to get your order in and gives everyone a fair chance who've got their order in within that 2 minutes. On the other hand, these sneakers hunts are flow drops, which are first come first serve. So speed is everything when it comes to these drops. Every second counts. With that said, now you are prepared for the next SNKRS Scratcher Shock drop. We were supposed to get one this month, but unfortunately it was canceled, but it's possible that it may be rescheduled, and if it is, now you are prepared. And even if it's not, you'll be ready when another sneaker drops with this method. Leave a like if you enjoyed or perhaps if you learned a thing or two. Also, be sure to check out Poizon, subscribe, and enable post notifications to stay 100% updated. And with that, have a fantastic rest of your day, and of course, good luck on all future sneakers hunts.